All right, so our last topic was ectopic pregnancy,
Yeah.
right? And this is a part of a 3-topic series about bleeding in
Early
pregnancy,
pregnancy.
in early pregnancy. So our next topic is,
Hydatidiform mole.
you enjoy this topic?
Of course.
Why?
Because they're very interesting to see so many vesicles. Yeah, huge number, bucket
You
full.
like the pathology. And because early detection is key to treatment, right? You like those cases, early detection prevention.
Yeah.
Okay. Take it away, Dr. Carroll.
See, trophoblastic tumors are classified into gestational trophoblastic tumors and non-gestational. Gestational trophoblastic neoplasia, in short GTN. These tumors arise in the epithelium of the trophoblast. Trophoblast arising from fertilization of an ovum and does not include the primary choriocarcinoma sometimes found in teratomas.
And we discussed this earlier. Teratoma is the sac with some tissues like teeth, hair, other kind of tissues.
Classification of GTN. Number 1, vesicular or hydatidiform mole. Second, invasive mole, that is chorioadenoma destruens. Third, choriocarcinoma. These diseases are a spectrum of a single disease. The most benign will be hydatidiform mole, and choriocarcinoma is the malignant. Malignant.
Scariest. Do you want to speak to the chromosomes?
No, not now.
Okay.
That will be last.
I start seeing the words haploid, diploid, and my brain goes outside.
Okay,
Stop
don't.
paying attention.
Now don't.
Genetics
Yeah,
happen.
don't if you cannot. Now, vesicular mole is a
Also known as
colloquial,
mole.
colloquial term. Why means these vesicles, because they are instead the trophoblast multiplies and forms vesicles,
Right. Like
grape-like structures.
grape-like structures. Yeah. Like alveoli almost.
Definition: hydatidiform mole is an abnormal pregnancy characterized by a change partly degenerative and partly hyperplastic occurring in the chorionic villi, causing them to take the form of cysts, and this is usually associated with absence of an intact fetus. This is a benign neoplasm of the chorion with malignant potential. Because of its superficial resemblance to hydatid cyst, it is named as hydatidiform mole.
But a cyst would just be one vesicle. A mole is lots of vesicles.
Lot of us.
What's a partial mole?
We'll talk about this later on.
Okay.
Complete mole, partial mole. Incidence varies in different countries, more common in Asia than in the West.
Why do you think that is? Why is it more common in Asia? What's your speculation? Your theory?
Highest incidence in Philippines. Highest in teenage pregnancies and in those women over 35 years of age.
So it sounds like when the beginning of our reproductive age and at the end of our
End of
reproductive
this
so
common.
some sort of maybe dysfunction in the ovum. You'll talk about that now. Tell us.
Yeah,
What
etiology.
causes it?
Etiology. Immunological basis. A breakdown in normal host resistance. Normal trophoblast behaves in many ways like a malignant growth. It locally invades maternal tissues and fragments of it enter the blood stream to lodge in the lungs. These properties, however, are normally controlled by some sort of maternal immunological reaction, so that the invasion of the uterine wall is limited and any extra uterine deposits are destroyed. In this respect, it has to be recognized that trophoblast is made of tissues which are only 50% maternal. The paternal contribution is presumably foreign to the host. So the host normally also some mechanism whereby its rejection is prevented. The occurrence of trophoblastic tumor can be regarded as the result of a breakdown in what must be a complicated and delicate host-invader balance. Cytogenetic theory, complete mole and partial mole, a paternal etiological factor. More than one wife of the same man have been found to suffer. How do you say this paternal?
So a husband maybe has one wife, divorces them, has children with
But
another,
they all suffer.
but they all suffer because it's potentially a paternal cause.
Yeah. Blood groups also play some part. Again suggests an immunological factor. Group A woman with Group A man, least risk. Group A woman with Group O husband, greatest risk. And Group AB women.
So it's blood group, not blood type. It's not rhesus factor. It's only A, B, O. It's not positive, negative. Okay. This makes me think that women that have immune disorders would also be at risk for hydatidiform mole. Hyperimmune response. Because their body would be extra sensitive to foreign bodies.
No, that is not.
Well, some women have hyperimmune diseases. Their immune system is too much.
Correct, but that is not a factor here.
Why? You just said that it's a immune response to the.
As a result of a breakdown in what must be a complicated and delicate host-invader balance.
Okay. Let's talk about racial and inherent etiology.
Racial or inherent etiological factor. Because of this striking geographical distribution, Europe and North America rare, common in Middle East, most frequent in Far East, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Philippines and China, and India. There is clear evidence that in these particular countries,
Wait. Yes.
trophoblastic tumors mainly affect those women who are of high parity, malnourished, and debilitated by diseases such as tuberculosis.
So maybe it's not necessarily their genetics. It's just when you're from these countries, you're more likely to experience high parity, malnourishment, and diseases like tuberculosis. Okay.
So it may be that lack of ability to control trophoblastic activity has two possible bases. An inherent or immunological one. Second, one which results from malnourishment and debility.
But it's probably a combination of the both.
Combination
Probably not
of
one or the other. It's probably some combination.
According to Hertig, it is a degenerative process, though capable of neoplastic change, that's choriocarcinoma, and the direct causation of the hydatid process is an agenesis of the fetal or cardiovascular structure in conjunction with a functioning maternal apparatus and intact trophoblast. It's a degenerative process according to Hertig, but it is not degenerative.
Right.
It's a neoplastic.
It seems opposite.
Neoplastic. According to Carr, it is due to hormonal imbalance. Hormonal changes are especially common following discontinuation of oral contraceptives. Hereditary for mole, this change may be related to a chromosomal anomaly, generally triploidy. Then immunological factor. The very implant of the fertilized ovum in the endometrium is due to the invasive properties of the trophoblast. In addition, physiological metastasis of trophoblast is seen in the lungs, so it behaves like malignancy. On the other hand, the reaction of the maternal organism to trophoblast is very different from that with malignant tumors. The invasion of the uterine wall by trophoblast is restricted, being held within normal limits by local defensive mechanism, probably residing in the decidua, although its exact nature remains obscure. In addition to this local defensive factor, it is clear that there must be one of systemic nature, probably in the form of an antigen-antibody reaction. Scott suggests malignancy may be related to a lack of maternal antibody to embryonic tissue. The trophoblast has a mucinous coating, so despite antigenic incompatibility, this tends to prevent detection by immunologically competent cells. These are profound. There are profound immunologic factors in the failure to reject trophoblast, precise mechanism uncertain. Spontaneous lysis of the trophoblast, which reaches lung tissue in normal pregnancy, occurs. In normally regressing trophoblast, there is some antagonistic or the absence of a stimulating principle. So the lesions of the trophoblast depend on the normal invasive property of the trophoblast as well as the resistance which the organism puts up against such invasiveness.
It's a highly involved immunological response, no? Or lack thereof.
Yeah, this. Okay. I told you it will finish fast.
You're right. Pathology.
Pathology. Macroscopy. The cysts begin to form from 3rd to 5th week when the feto-maternal circulation normally becomes established. The time feto-maternal circulation is getting established, that time cysts form. Now, vesicular mole is a potentially malignant condition. Normal chorionic villus consists of a central core of myxoid connective tissue carrying fetal blood vessels surrounded by the trophoblast, which consists of an inner Langhans layer, cytotrophoblast, and an outer syncytial layer. The Langhans layer consists of small cubical cells with large vesicular nucleus and clear cytoplasm. The syncytial layer, this can be 2 to 3 layers, consists of large cells with deeply staining cytoplasm and numerous uniformly deeply staining nuclei, irregularly distributed. This layer is derived from the trophoblast. After the 4th month, the Langhans layer slowly atrophies, while the connective tissue core becomes more fibrous and more vascular. The pathologic changes which characterize hydatidiform mole are trophoblastic proliferation. Second, all the three layers segments are involved. Trophoblastic, hydropic degeneration of the villus stroma, scantiness of blood vessels. You get like this. You got it, no?
There's three layers that change.
Trophoblastic proliferation.
Right. So the embryo is.
And the connective tissue undergoes hydropic degeneration.
What does hydropic mean?
It means water.
Water.
Degeneration, watery like vesicles will form, no?
I see.
Hydropic degeneration.
Which is really proliferation, hydropic proliferation.
Scantiness of blood vessels, because
In the vessels.
in the core blood vessels will be there because of this trophoblastic proliferation. The vessels get compressed.
I see.
Villus pattern is
Distinctly?
is
I think distinctly.
distortly. It is destroyed.
Destroyed.
Villus pattern is lost.
Huh.
Trophoblastic proliferation, the most important factor in
Hydatidiform mole.
mole is the trophoblastic proliferation involving both the Langhans layer and the syncytium. Moderate and localized proliferation of these layers is seen even in normal pregnancy, but in mole it is much more marked. Yet in many sections of benign hydatidiform mole, there may be complete absence of trophoblastic activity. This is because these villi have undergone degenerative changes as a result of growing away from their blood supply. In the uterine wall, epithelial proliferation is much less conspicuous in hydatidiform mole, developing at an early stage of pregnancy. In the trophoblastic overgrowth, the Langhans layer cells appear as well differentiated cells, cuboidal or polyhedral shape, with large, round, pearly, heavily stained nuclei. The syncytial, on the other hand, appears in the form of sheets of fenestrated amorphous masses with a disproportionately big nucleus and scanty cytoplasm. Sheets, they are in sheets, not in layers. Understand?
No, what's the difference between a sheet and a layer?
Like
Polyhedral shapes. So-
sheets, like sheets they appear.
Right.
Layers means one by one
Right.
layer.
This is just a sheet. There's no differentiation. It's just a sheet.
Sheets
Amorphous.
with heavily stained nucleus. Distension is due to secretion rich in HCG. In the central core, the degenerative process occurs in the connective tissue, and those secretions accumulate there, rich in HCG. Liquefaction of the stroma. In the villi, the stroma
It also
that
liquefies.
gets liquefied. The hyperplastic villi remain confined to decidua. However, degeneration of the villi occurs spontaneously or following hemorrhage. Vesical fluid rich in HCG, complete hydatidiform mole, and incomplete. These are two varieties. Later I'll tell you the difference. Now I'll tell you the trophoblastic two layers and the stroma central core in the villi. We'll talk something about stroma. Marked edema myxomatous degeneration, absence of blood vessels.